Good afternoon, and welcome, one and all. As you all already know, the novel has been published. Or is almost published. I don't know. This episode was written a month in advance, but anyway, if it's been published, then I'll be providing a link to the newly published works in the description, as well as adjusting the shoutout at the end of the episode. I did not think that ahead when I was writing the script a few minutes ago. Anyway, then in about 2 weeks after this, because I nearly broke the cycle of story episode, and had instead prepared a different episode for this week until I realized my error and moved the episode ahead. But anyway, let's get into the story. Shrouded Personas, written by Porscha Aubrey, narrated by Porscha Aubrey. Chapter 9. The little clothes I have sprawled out across my bed, an odd mixture of violet and brown covering my mattress. I'm sure that it won't be too difficult to pack up my bag, but then again, these clothes are pretty big, even when folded, and my bag is quite small. It's mainly small because it's meant to be tactical, and you can't exactly run or climb so easily when you're carrying around a huge backpack. Though sometimes I don't really need my backpack since I have my tactical clothing, but that's not a choice this time around. Barely any of my violet clothes have pockets. Another question though, is if I should even bring my brown clothing with me. Or do I wear the brown clothes and change into the violet ones once I get into the ship? Perhaps vice versa? I don't know. Jeffrey never told me what I should do. He just told me that I don't have to worry about work today and just pack up. Though I wish I could have helped out. Today they're all working in the fields, which means that Diamond will get a break. Jeffrey stopped using her for farm work around 2 years ago since she can't handle the weight of the equipment anymore. So there are several things I could have done to help out. Take care of Diamond, help at the fields, or bring out food and drinks every hour or so. It's boiling out, so I really wish I could be out there helping everyone. From what I know, it's only the 3 of them, and around 100 acres of farm to get through. Yesterday wasn't so bad though. Surprisingly, once the sun started coming up, the temperature began to drop. The only thing that was on my mind yesterday was Antonio. Or at least the man I hope is Antonio, and not just some random guy I was watching. His eyes meeting mine repeats in my mind, constantly. His huge muscles flexing under his torn muscle shirt, his torn sweatpants and combat boots. Wait, combat boots? Why would a ship worker wear combat boots? Is it possible that my mind replaced his outfit with other items on at some point? No, there's no way. I have no reason to see his appearance differently. Then again, why would he have a skull mask on as well? None of the other men had masks on. Also, it's possible that he had weapons strapped on to him too. I remember seeing little bulges on his pants, like around the calves and thighs. I doubt that some random adventurer would need to carry weapons around, especially in Sarian. It makes sense to have weapons on you at all times if you were traveling, say, Ulnak, Rapard, or Rapard, but Sarian? If that is the World Wanderer, then it's likely there's even more I need to figure out about him before I spend even a second alone with him. It's possible that he might be a mass murderer or even a spy or assassin from another country. Plus, I doubt he would have gone to my night school, because I'm sure that I would have recognized him. Sure, someone's appearance can change drastically in just a year, but I'm sure either his name or voice would at least ring a bell. Plus, it's barely possible to get a nickname like World Wanderer in just a year's time, so it's highly likely for him to be a neutral assassin like myself and my colleagues. So, who is he? Perhaps the Syrian National Public Library has some documents I can search through. They keep records about the imports and exports of goods and people in the private sector. But I could just sneak past all the security. They also keep details about ship names and the workers present on said ships. So all I need to do is remember the name of the ship that I saw the crew unloading crops from, then search for the name Antonio Zuma. Perhaps I'll be able to find a few articles referencing his nickname. But how would I get there? I don't have a ride and the library is on the other side of the nation. which would be over a 10-hour horse ride with the fastest steed in all the land. So I certainly won't be able to just run there. There's also the case with the skin melting heat that would make the conspiracy theorists think that Dutheus is attempting to take over again. So I definitely can't just go for a run. What else is there for me to do? I've already gone out and filled up the jug to water the rungian. I do need to finish packing up my clothes, but there's not much else to bring. Well, instead of weapons and potions. It's a shame that my night school never disclosed the ingredients for the pills they gave everyone. It'd be amazing if I could make them for myself and not have to worry about being malnourished every day. Perhaps I can head into town and purchase some vegetables, get some food in my system. But then again, I don't have much money on me, and I doubt I'd be able to get enough for it to matter. Probably only be able to afford a single carrot or potato, and enough for it and there's no way in hell that my body would be able to settle for a single piece of food. My stomach rumbles at the thought of eating, practically screaming at myself to feed my body. I'm sorry, I mumbled to myself, gazing down at my nearly non-existent stomach. I have nothing to give you. Please just hold on a little bit longer. It continues to roar at me. I shake my head and get back to packing up my bag, deciding to wear my brown clothes on the way there, then switching to my violet outfit on the ship. Hopefully I'll get a room to myself, but I'll still be fine if I don't. After all, I used to have to change in and out of uniform in co-ed washrooms. Changing in a bedroom with few people watching is nothing out of the ordinary for me. But it'd still be nice to have a room all to myself, because then I'd be able to work on potions with my portable setup, or even just sharpen and maintain my weapons without worrying about snitches. Also, what weapons should I bring? Definitely my knives. I walk beside my bed, kneel down, and reach for a large brown suitcase, pulling it out. I use all my strength to lift it up and smack it onto my mattress, not bothering to move the violet shirt that was laid there. It's collected quite a bit of dust from the last time I even acknowledged it. I haven't touched it since my last mission, which was pretty much an exam for night school. The screams of that entire week replay in my mind as I continued to inspect the suitcase, wiping off the dust that covers the large emblem in the center. 2 poisonous blades crossing each other with the letters HPLS in the center. The wood is worn and possesses several cuts from the random bursts of frustration and attacking random objects with whatever weapon is in my hands at the time. This suitcase. I'll never let anyone else touch it. I could bring it with me, but I won't. That's too risky. So instead I'll just bring a few individual weapons. Sliding my hands down the flammable wood, I grab onto the latches and unlock them, flipping them upwards. Slowly, with an uncomfortable breath, I open the suitcase. The eyes of a laughing skull locks with my own, making all the memories I've chosen to shut out come flowing back to me. The Laughing Skull clan of the Higher Power Lifetime School. It's an average symbol, the kind you can find at some regular old clothing stands. To most, it shows no meaning, and just looks cool. But for me and the other members of the clan, it's a symbol of our livelihood. The LCS is the highest ranked class in all of HPLS. Being the leader of it means that you're number 1 and undefeatable. It's quite often that the LCS is without a leader, but the entire time I was part of it, there was a leader. Shaking my head and forcing the phantom sounds of screaming out of my mind, I gazed down to the weapons before me. Poisonous knives, arrows, swords, a brown combat staff, and even little metal needles that are meant to be thrown. Those ones are for more quiet jobs, in order to keep my identity hidden whenever I need to kill someone. With just a flick of my wrist, the metal needles go flying and stab into whatever part of someone's body I aimed for, killing them almost instantly. I pick up a little sack full of them. These will be helpful, especially since they're slightly smaller than the acupuncture needles, so I can make the excuse that it's part of my therapy kit. I take the needles out and place them next to my bag, moving back to the other weapons. I already have my own throwing knives, and I doubt it'll be a good idea to bring the poisonous ones, so those will stay here. It could be a good idea to bring the staff, especially since it's retractable, so I can hide it in my pocket, no problem, or even take it out. Other than confused expressions, I doubt anyone will care. I'll take that with me. There's a few guns too. There's suppressors hidden in a top compartment, but none that would be logical to bring. Well, none of these anyway. The guns I keep on me should be good enough, but I should definitely bring a suppressor with me. Then I remember something. A compartment behind the skull, meant only for emergencies. I've only had to open it once, and that was when I first got this. I don't remember what's back there, but I would rather not find out. Gulping back my uncertainty, I resume with gathering the weapons I believe would be logical to bring. Should I bring the bow and arrows? The tactical bow I have has a button on it that releases sleeping vapor whenever an enemy gets too close. It also has a switch on it which, when flipped, it turns every arrow shot into fire arrows. It somehow doesn't get rid of the poison effect on the arrows either. But there's no way people wouldn't be suspicious of me carrying around the bow and arrows with me. It doesn't fit in a violet bag either. It doesn't retract enough, and I still need to be able to fit in all my other stuff. Then again, we are going to Vakmite, which is a nation known for hunting, so I doubt it'll be abnormal to be carrying an arrow around. But I'd rather not have to carry anything more than I have to. So the bow and arrows will stay here. I should bring the poisons with me though, including a few different vapor bombs, even just a vial of vapor, so I can sleep more easily on my trip. Wait, no. It's best not to sleep heavily, especially if Antonio's around. Though, perhaps I should still bring it with me. It'll be good, since if he ends up being instant, then I'll still be able to use the vials to sleep. Or if we ever get into a fight, then I can make him inhale the vapor. Yeah, I'll bring the different bombs and vials with me. What could go wrong? Everyone on the ship dies because some idiot decided to mess with your shit, I say to myself, packing up a few vials and bombs. Is that really a loss though? After all, it's their fault for touching my stuff. Fair enough. I smile and pack up the weapons I chose to bring with me. The wood is warm under my hands as I fiddle with the latches. It didn't take long for the heat to attack the case, engulfing it in the blazing humidity of the Syrian summer. Shutting and locking the case, I don't waste any time sliding it back under my bed, not wanting to even give it another look. That's a past I choose to not think about, though I'm sure that there's some positive parts of it. Well, after I got over the pain of constant starvation. This trip has brought back too much of my past, and I haven't even left the nation yet. And that is all for Chapter 9 of Shrouded Personas. Just one chapter left till you will have to either wait till I start reading the rest of it on the premium version of my podcast, or purchase the novel. Check out my novels, Death Chill, Flame Rip, and Arctic Blaze on Amazon and Kobo, link in the description. Or if it's published, then check out my novels on Amazon and Kobo, link in the description. Check out the Creative Writing Club Premium on Patreon, Spotify, link in the description. Check out the Creative Writing Club Discord server in the description. Check out my personal Instagram at dark_night_wolves. And this knife level of a gunly meeting, I don't know, I'm making up at the top of my head, will now come to an end.